All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this platform with another message. And I will say it is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall, and I will rest therein. It is time. Oh, I got to do this right. It's time to talk. So, Sister Deborah is going to be doing some talking. And I'm going to be a little here and a little everywhere. And what I believe is going on, I believe if you say Israel too many times, they're counting the times you're saying it, and they don't want your conversation to keep being said. They don't want your conversation to really rest on the word Israel. I noticed that the other day. I was talking about us as Israel. But see, with them, they want to make them as Israel, but they don't want you to talk about it. So to me, that's showing you another sign of them in control. Okay. So Sister Deborah is here, and I'm going to talk. It's time to talk. If you have any questions and you have any answers during this time, the door is open. And you come on in. I do want to talk about two topics that's on my phone here. One of them was a comment that I received, a comment in which, please hold. Yes.
Yeah, I got two different letters in the mail from Gilmore Bassett. Claim service.
You want to wait till I'm off live?
Oh, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now they call. Boy, just so many things going on, you guys. But today is someday, and I'm really learning to embrace the comforter, because that's truly who the Most High Yah is. He is a comforter. And I don't care what's going on in your life and how it's taking place and how it's being conducted. There's nothing. I mean, nothing. Nothing can outweigh that comforter that he is and always been. And I thank him for that. So Sister Deborah is going to cover a message, a comment, and I'm also going to cover something Nathan, I get to it. It's on my phone here. Made a statement about Deuteronomy 28, and a man asked him a question, and I want to show you what how he respond without answering the question. He asked him a question, and he respond not to the question. And it's amazing that he is one. I think it's ICUUCIUC. I believe it's that, the one who wear the purple, Nathan, whatever his name. He's the head. But it's amazing how someone like him can lead such a multitude of the tribe of Judah, especially the men, and have no sense of any type of spirit and truth when he speaks. And it's amazing because it's also goes back to what has already been prophesied from the beginning all the way to Revelation, and how the broad gate, and how people are going to be deceived. Even Yeshua, he pulled up talking about how people are going to be deceived and misled, and go and what they're doing is they're going into the broad gate freely. You see, and I know heaven's already got them locked in, so it makes it okay. But I just want to say, to live to see how heaven has orchestrated it, and to see it. That's what I be saying when I be telling you all, I'm a living prophet, not a dead one. That means I'm living to see the prophecies of the Most High Yah in full force. I'm living to see the things in which was prophesied that shall come to pass, and how it will come to pass, and the way that it will come to pass. So when I'm saying that I am a living prophet and not a dead one, I'm letting you know that I can speak on the level of those that were dead and what they were saying. And I fully understand them. And I understand it so clear today because I'm living to see the prophecies of the Most High Yah and Yeshua and the prophets. So I'm just in there seeing it all, but I'm living today to discuss those things and to talk to you all about it. And that's something to consider, even you yourself, to know that you're living today to see all these things taking place that was prophesied in the what they call the Old Testament and what they call the New Testament. You see these things already taking place, and you can see up in Revelation what was said to take place. You see these things, so you know that you are living. You are really what you call a living witness to what is actually taking place in the world today. So you special, whether you know it or not. You're very special. So I'm going to cover a message, a comment that was on my YouTube, and it really kind of made really kind of made me kind of sad, and I will explain to you why it made me sad. Because I guess when you hear somebody speak the truth of the whole matter, and you hear them speaking, and I could just feel that individual knowing exactly what they're saying. It's almost like I can feel them feeling this thing. You know how I always say, you got to feel this thing. This thing, you got to feel it. This individual that's on this comment, I felt that individual felt that thing. Now watch this here. Now, this individual said, let me open it all up. Why do we stay hidden? Why do we not speak up? Even when the Most High within us has given us all these gifts, it is because we are not so full. Wait a minute. It is because we are not so full of hatred that even when we know spirit and truth, we stay quiet to make everyone else around us feel comfortable. Even if they have done us wrong, we still remain silent, as we know it's too much for them to digest, and they will look at us differently, thinking it comes from a place of hatred. But it doesn't. It's truth. It's truly just the truth of the whole matter. So with this person, I don't know if you understood all of that, but I kind of felt this person knew something about spirit and truth. I felt that individual. And that individual knows somewhere within them that it feels like people are hiding. When this individual say, why do we stay hidden? You know what? That's exactly what I say to the Father. Where they at? Why is everybody, when I be saying nobody say nothing? Because I was thinking that if we are given knowledge today, more knowledge increasing, I've come to understand that knowledge is not the knowledge in the flesh, knowledge increasing in the spirit. So if we're given this knowledge and we're walking around talking about we are awakening and we know who we are, but yet this individual say, well, why do we stay hidden? Why do we not speak up? Even when the Most High within us has given us all these gifts, that I feel that thing. I feel it. And I even feel quiet about all the gifts that I have. Now, I might bring it up in some messages, but let me tell you something. I am loaded with gifts from the Most High Yah, and you would never know it because it's like you just there by yourself. You don't know where no one else is. No one is proclaiming to have any gifts or any abilities that the Father has given them or gifts that he's poured out. This individual said, even after the Father has given us all these gifts. So what this individual is leading me to understand, that individual knows about the gifts that was poured out. They know. This individual know that the Father's poured out spiritual gifts. This individual know that it feels like people are hiding because you don't hear nothing but stupidity. And you know what these people are talking is not spirit and truth. It's like, where are they at? Why are they hiding? And this individual said, why are they hiding? And that's why Sister Deborah, continued on YouTube, because it's almost like every day I say, I'm not going to get on. I'm not going to get on. I'm not going to do it because you feel like you know who you are. You know your purpose. You know your position. You know what you was called to do. You know all the gifts that he's given you. But where is the body of Hamashiach? Where is the body? You can't find it. Where is the saints? You can't find them. And if you think for 1 minute you there on these platforms and on YouTube and on Facebook and Instagram or Twitter or Patriot or Rumble, you can hang it up. You can hang it up. Those people are pretty much clowning. Okay? And that's why this individual is saying, why are they hiding? This individual is not talking about all these people on this platform. This individual is talking about, wait a minute, I can feel something. I know that he got some out here. I know he poured out those gifts. Where are the people? Where are they hiding? You see? It's a part this individual have to understand. It's called endurance, along with long suffering. A lot of people don't understand what endurance is. Yeshua, when he came, he had to endure all the way to the end. Everything all the way to the end. And in this endurance spirit is when the Father has sealed you with something, okay, to the point where you got to endure. You might be the only one speaking it. You might be the only one thinking it. You might be the only one saying it. You might be the only one revealing it. You see? So I understand what this individual was saying, but it did something to me. I was like, oh my goodness, this individual is feeling that thing. That's all I can say. This individual feel that thing. See, that's what I'm talking about. Is being able to feel that. Now, her first statement or her first statement was, why are they hiding? They out there, right? Whoever can make a statement, why are they hiding? Is an individual who knows that they're out there. Well, that's the same way with Sister Deborah. Same way I feel. It's the strangest thing. It's no reason why we as the servants of the Most High Yah in these last days cannot come into a unity and discuss the gifts in which the Father has poured out upon us, or come together in a oneness of understanding. Like I said, I know one is because everybody wants to be the head. No one wants to follow. Everybody wants to be the head, and they don't want you to be they don't want Hamashiach, Christ, being the head at all. That's one of the main problems. Everybody wants to be the head. They don't want Hamashiach being the head. They want to control the body from their emotions and their feelings and their personal opinion and their wisdom, their knowledge and their understanding. They don't want you to trust in the Most High Yah to be the one that leads and guide you. They want to be able to lead. They want to be able to guide. They want to be able to control you. They want you to be able to dress like they want you to dress, look like they want you to look, eat like they want you to eat, act like they want you to eat. I mean, act like they want you to act. Why? They have a form of godliness, but they deny one thing, and that's the power they're in. Why you say that? It's because the power is who's the head. Hamashiach, which is Christ, is the head. They deny that. See, you might say when Sister Deborah just talking and they don't, yes, that's what's going on. So when this individual is saying, why are they hiding? This individual ain't lying. It's like they hiding. And you're like, okay, I don't know if you all heard about, it's a lot of them, y'all. It's a lot of them doing it. Everybody, not everybody, a lot of people, not a lot, but there are those who feel that they know that they are the Hebrew Israelites. They are cranking up a way to make money off of you paying them for a spot to move closer to the port, where they say that the Father is going to send ships to come get us. A lot of them are teaching that. A lot of them are teaching it. And they're saying, give up everything you got. Give up everything you got. Come to where they're at the port. So you'll already be there. And all you have to do is get on the ship. Drop everything, like cash your money in and whatever. Bring your money because you're going to have to pay for your spot until the ship comes to get us. Y'all ain't heard that? I don't know if you heard it or not, but that is what's going on among the Hebrew Israelites. And it's amazing how they even got elderlies telling elderly women, this is a different group, telling you to get ready because the day is near. We need to be all come together and move closer to where they say that the Father is coming to get us. You see? Now, I've heard about 6 of them. Different groups are doing this. Everybody trying to step in to the power of my Father, and they ain't gonna stand a chance. And when they start making it about money, you know that something is going on. And I know money is what's make things come to play. But what we have to understand, these are prophecies of the Most High Yah. Why can't he pull up and pull us out? Why can't he do what he prophesied that would be done or allowed to be said that would be done? Did he tell us? Did he give us the day, the hour, the minute, the second, the year, the months in which we should go somewhere and he's going to pick us up at this location? Just think. That's the mindset I have explained to you all over and over and over in Deuteronomy 28. Gone. The mindset is gone. Because they really believe that they're going to set the plan. And it's like, okay, Father, Yah, we'll take it from here. Then you just come. When you come, we'll be ready. We'll take it from here. You see? Dangerous game. And that's what many people are doing. Even when they were saying, go back to Africa, we need to start packing up and everybody moving to Africa, people moving to Israel and Jerusalem. I don't give a rat's behind where they move. They ain't going to be moved by the Most High Yah if they making their own order and their own way. And they causing many to follow them therein. You can't do that. You can't find that anywhere. It's nothing that left you any word telling you to do it that way. So what is going on? This one group that's doing it, they charging money for you to leave everything behind, your house, your everything. Come park over in a place. We're over here closer to the some dock or place that they say the ship's going to come and get us. And I'm saying, I saw that. I could not believe that. That threw me all the way off because I had never heard of such a thing. I'm like, where did they get that from? I never heard of that. But the first day I heard of it, it was 3 days ago. Within that time, I done heard it 6 times from 6 different groups of Hebrew Israelites. Come on, y'all, get your stuff. Let's get ready and get out of here. You see? Now, why are we getting our outer man ready and haven't gotten our inner man? Why is it we so stuck on trying to get the flesh ready? And the flesh looking at you like you cuckoo clock. Why? Because the flesh know the only way it's ready is when it's in the grave. Ready for where it come from. So why are we getting the flesh ready instead of getting our inner man? And where along the line that we don't grip at the fact that the inner man is what's going to be led and not the outer man. So when you hear people doing this, know that these people are preparing the flesh for what they say that the Most High is going to do. Now, they ain't listening to the spirit. They're listening to the flesh. And wait a minute. I'm hoping that you all can hear me. Can you all hear me? Okay. They're listening to the flesh. They're going in the way of what the flesh says. And a lot of them are trying to go in that direction. And I heard this elderly lady, she had to have been probably 68. She's on there just talking, and we got to do this, and we got to, I'm like, there was another group. What? Yep, he's coming to get us here, and it's going to be like this. And I'm like, so young and old are preparing for the way of the Most High Yah. So me, myself, being a prophetess in the wilderness, my purpose is to seek the Father and ask, is this one of the situation in Deuteronomy 28 gone? Because you haven't prophesied that you wanted us to do what they got many people following them to do. And I think that's a scary thing for people to follow the multitude to a place where you have given up your home, your everything you own, and you've gone out to a location where they say that the ship's going to come in and take us to the promised land. Look like people are not waiting on the Most High Yah at all. And that's kind of sad. That's real sad. And they're going to get caught in the crossfire. So I think I don't know if you all have heard of that, but I've been hearing about it. I've been watching it, and I'm like, they gone. Cuckoo clock. I mean, and so many of them gets on here and be listening to all of these, what I call wild prophets and prophetess. So they get on here and they be speaking wild. Because what I mean by that, they end up with subscribers to the point where they don't care if they're right or if they're wrong. They feel that having a certain amount of people watching them and on their lives and watching and liking and subscribing to them, they don't care if they give you spirit and truth, righteous, or anything. They see that no matter what they say, the people gonna grip it and run with it. So anybody that's going out here giving up everything to go follow a group of people and they charging them a certain amount to come out where they're at, so you can be already out there when the ships roll in. When I heard that, I was like, oh, Father, they really left you, right? They left you. They ran all ahead of you. He said, it's a good thing they running ahead of me, because they still running in the broad gate so they can run on, because they're not in ahead of me. They in the broad gate running, and they thinking they ahead of me. So I wanted to just put that out there. I just received a phone call a half an hour regarding melanated what he said, melanin. He say, do you know that they are selling melanin? I hope I'm saying that right, on the market. They say it's like silver and gold. Do anybody know anything about that? Anybody know anything about? I've heard it. Now I ain't gonna tell you. This individual just called me. I had to explain to him. You're not the only one saying that. I've heard that several times, that they are selling melon. What is it's not melanate. It's melanin on the black market. Have you all heard of that? Had you heard of it? Had you heard of it? Oh yes, they charging. They charging, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though they might be charging 200 or whatever to, I think you pay a month or whatever. I'm just still saying these are people making their own plans. So if you heard of it, what do you know anything about it? Because this individual, he was telling me, it hurt me. He said, it hurt me that I had to look it up. When so I heard it, I had to look it up and find out about it myself. Yes, you have to. Why are you thinking all these black young men are being missing and these young black girls are being missing? It's not just sex trafficking and organs. This is what I told the young man. I said, I tell you what you do. Do you have that movie, Get Out? Go look at it. That's what that was all about. See, it's nothing coming up on us that's going to surprise us, you guys. Everything's plainly seen. That's what the Father said. He said, there ain't nothing hidden. He said, you can go over that Bible back to front to back. Ain't nothing hidden. It's the mindset and the spirit of the individual, where it's at today. We already know where the flesh is, said the Most High. But he says it's where the mind and of their spirit is. That's the scary part. And that's what I heard. I know they have those plasma places where you draw blood in all of our communities here where black people are. Why? Because a lot of the black people don't understand anything when it comes down to their blood. You see, they have to understand their blood is precious. You don't sell it to the heathens and the Gentiles. You see, something is in the blood. So he was saying that they are selling I forgot, it's melanin. I think it's melanin on the black market. And he said it says that it's like silver and gold. It's worth silver and gold. Only way they can do that, and they are doing it. I believe they're doing it. That's why all these black men are coming up missing. A lot of them, and our young female girls too. And I don't think it's about sex trafficking. The reason why I don't think it's about sex trafficking is because I know the beast and Antichrist and the false prophet are going to be lovers of men. That means lovers of male. So even that stage that's up on us, a lot of us don't understand what is actually going on in this day and time really affect a lot of males, and why they're practicing hatred and trying to make one different, the females away, and they are the perfect way, or they're the excellent, and even the females are making the males they making themselves look good and saying the males. But it's more so, I think the level of hate is really resting on our males. They have that spirit of the seed of Satan in Genesis 3:15. Now, don't get me wrong, females do too. But at the level of where we're at today, override the female in the heart of how men are today. And a lot of women don't even understand. The men today, they got this air about themselves, and they don't understand. They flipping their spirit. It's not their flesh, y'all. They are flipping their spirit to have this mindset. Okay, so that's what they don't understand. That's what they're doing. They got this mindset that you want them. They really think women are so hard up that they are all that and some. But what they didn't understand, this is the DAY for the beast, the antichrist, and the false prophet. What way are they coming in? Lovers of men. So that lets you know in the days that we are in, it's about men loving men. Y'all didn't even know that, did you? That's the truth of the whole matter. I saw and it hurt me so bad. It came on my news on my phone, and it's one Gentile. He's 22 and a very attractive young man, and he's 22, a Gentile. And he went in because he was stealing something. He stole something, and he went into jail. And I guess he got a year. And guess what? He's supposed to get out 12 days. Within 12 days, do you all know they took him for 3 days and raped him over and over and over and over and over, tormented him and raped him, gang rape from what I heard, and beat him. And what I believe the beating came in with a young man that was geared to this mindset. I ain't gonna let you take me like that. Or I'm not gonna let you do this to me. And I believe he fought back, and that's where the beating came in. But you know, he died. It was in Alabama, and I heard them Alabama correction facility is horrible. And the Warrington said he died of drugs. Now, his mother is talking about how he died of drugs, and his hands, you can see he was he was tied down. 3 days, they said. It was done to him for 3 days. Now just imagine all the men coming in, bothering him and doing things to him and beating him and tormenting him and raping him because he had 12 more days left to get out. And he had a brand new baby waiting home. So you see, this is not a white and a black thing. That's why I refuse to get hung up on people, especially women. Our black women have this thing. They so hung up on black and white, and our men are too. They real bad at it. This black and white. When you finish, want me to tell you what the Father told me this morning in a little bucket of water? I had a little bucket of water. You know what he told me? Because I was wiping things down. You know what he told me? He said, Deborah, they so ignorant. They don't understand it's about righteous. They don't even understand it's about righteous. He said that they didn't understand that when he blew in the breath of life, he gave all men, male and female, his image. And he gave them his breath. So the game on the earth, everybody want to make it black and white. Okay? Especially the white people want to make it about them. But if you do your study, you will see where they come up and what the Caucasus Mountains, whatever mountain they come from, you can see where they come from. It's just that the authority and the power they have is what the Father had gave Satan, and Satan transferred it to he wanted to run it on the earth. Okay, because the Father had given him that. Okay, so here we are, and you get really confused when people are constantly saying black and white, black and white. And in this day and time, I think the black women today, as far as marrying these white men, I believe there's something else to that, y'all. I really think that there's something else. There's something behind that, because what these women are doing, they're having one child, dropping them as they go, and they're breeding mixed children, and it's almost like they're doing it for just that purpose. You see what I'm saying? And it's just the way they whole mindset changes, and become, that they feel the women just out of order with it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, only the young ones. But I believe that they need to, first and foremost, have an understanding of each one of them history. before they even start dating. This is when they just communicate. You see what I'm saying? And as that time go on, because what I think is a lot of our black women are role playing, our young black women, it's like they never had a man to treat them the way that the Europeans are treating them. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. The Europeans is not treating them a way that's different from the way that they normally treat. You see what I'm saying? They actually showering them with what they normally would shower their women with. But because they stepping on needles and pins because they know they dealing with another race. Okay. And they got to watch themselves, even though they decided to mix race. I believe there's a lot of things behind the whole ideal of it in the white men than it is the black women. I think the black women, the young black women, think it's cute because they thinking they bringing in a certain look of a child, and they look at this child and they say, oh, they got a beautiful child and the hair, and it's just so sad. This one lady, she had her baby by this white man, and he came in while she was on live, and you know what she was doing? Putting a perm kit in the 2-year-old head, a perm kit. And if you see what she looked like, let me not say that. But she's sitting here on nationwide television putting a perm in that baby's head. Talking about, I want her hair straighter. Now she's already mixed. You see the mindset of the black women. And this one here was from Africa. But you can tell that she's not dealing with a full debt. And she's just had another baby a month ago. You see, it's just like something is not right about none of that. Okay, so I wanted to say something about that. I'm not one to be caught up in white and black, because when we stand before the throne, we're gonna look like him, a spirit. So a lot of our Negro people thinking they gonna come up there and Yah's gonna have dreads and his hair gonna be kinky and Yeshua gonna have kinky hair. Look, I can say to you, he might not have straight hair, he might not have kinky. I don't think he's gonna have hair. He's gonna be a spirit. And I think that's what everybody is missing. They keep adding flesh in everything. They want us to see everything in the flesh and not seeing beyond the flesh. So when we can't see beyond the flesh, we can't see heaven to be nothing but what we say it is and how we want it to look. And that's messed up from the floor up, because many of us are not going to enter in. But yet our ideals and what we think today messes us up anyway, because we way out on the deep end. Okay, so we did talk about the man that called me. It's been almost an hour now, and he was telling me about they're selling that on the market. And what I was wondering, had anybody knew anything about? Yeah, that's what he was saying. Are we talking about that melanin? Am I pronouncing it right? Oh my, wow, yeah, that's what I heard. I could not believe that is actually going on. It's terrible. Yes, it is terrible, because it answers a multitude of questions. But I also look at the Most High Yah. I look at heavens and I say, what's going on? Is this? I notice you. Everything is about the Most High Yah. What's going on? Now, I heard I had a man that's, I think he is over, what you call it? ICU. Am I saying that right? Let me make sure. Let me get him here. And I bet you he's not on here anymore. And I don't see him. Let me try this one here. He was talking about, this man asked him a question. This is what he asked him. Now listen to this. He asked him a question. The man asked him, now see, this is something else you all don't know nothing about. That's why I said to y'all, I said to you over and over, it's a lot of things going on, and everybody is ignoring it because people are saying, oh, I don't know about that. It ain't happening in my house. It ain't happening in my house. And people don't understand there's a lot of things happening. It's just that we are ignoring it all. That's just it. We're going into a dark state of mind. And like it's nothing actually is taking place. And that gives Satan seed a lot of energy because they said they ignoring it. They been on this. We got it going on. We got it going on. And yes, they do. That means if they're able to hide everything in the dark and let it go on, oh, they all for it. Now, what he was saying, he asked him, I think his ICU or something like that. They're the ones with the purple. Now, his name is Nathan, I think it is. He's the captain. He's the overall, the head. And he's been in it for years. He's a retired cop. And the man asked him, and I sat back and I listened to this 3 times, listened to him talk 3 times. And each time I listened to him talk, I said, Father, that man is leading a multitude of men. And I come to realize this man don't know his left from his right. And when I say that, I mean he don't know nothing about spirit and truth of the matter. But yet he ruling all these men. And it's just amazing. Now, this is what this man asked him. He was on his show. He asked him, he said, can you tell me, now listen to you all, listen to this. Can you tell me why is it that we have a very high level of suicide among our Black men? Did y'all know that? Anybody in the live chat? Did y'all know that was going on? I didn't. He's telling the leader of this camp, I think it's ICU or IUC or whatever. He asked him that question. I didn't either, but he asked him that question because he does interviews, to everybody from Farrakhan, anybody. And he was saying that he was asking him this question. Can you tell me why that we have such a great number and it's growing of our Black men committing suicide? Nathan told him something that he should not have told him. And he said to him, first thing he let him know, he ran and shot him into him because of our Black women. That's why I say unto y'all, they're going to ride that all the way to the end. They're going to go over the mountain with that statement. And the Father going to let them jump off because it's going to wear off pretty soon. And they're going to be fighting a battle of their own because the Father going to leave them just there because they are justifying and clarifying why everything is happening. It's always a Black woman's fault. Now watch that. He told this man, when you go to Deuteronomy 28, and he went to him just as I have gone to you all. When you go into Deuteronomy 28, he went exactly where I keep going to. I did a year and a half ago. I kept telling y'all. He went to Deuteronomy 28 and 34. And the man was telling him he didn't have to read because of the time. He said, but I have to. He said, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 34. Okay? So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. That's what I was telling you. I'm going cuckoo clock from what I'm seeing. See, he's telling you, you're going to see this thing. And that's why Sister Deborah needs the endurance spirit. It's so it can help me to endure what? Deuteronomy 28, verse 34. Who is he talking to? Somebody like me. He said, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. See, why everybody running around like they can't see the end game of Deuteronomy 28? He's not talking to you. You can't see Deuteronomy end game no way. He's only talking to those who understand what Deuteronomy 28 end game is about. But he's letting you know you're going to go mad at the sight. You're going to go mad at the sight. You're going to go mad at the sight of what you shall see. So if Sister Deborah's going to go mad at what she's going to see, I'm going to need something else. That's why he said, I give you the spirit of endurance. You see, because when I keep trying to explain to y'all what I'm seeing from the wilderness level, I'm actually seeing the end game of Deuteronomy 28 and trying to figure out why ain't nobody talking about it? Why ain't nobody preaching this thing? Why ain't nobody teaching it? It's because this is not a level that men that don't have spirit and truth, which is the Ruach HaKodesh in them, they can't teach this. Because it takes them drowning in the deep blue sea. They can't handle it, you see. But he said you will go mad at the sight of what you go see. You're going to go cuckoo clock at what you're going to see. That's why he told me, he gave me the endurance spirit. You're going to need this, Deborah. You're going to need this. And I thank him for it. I thank him for it. So this guy that's the whole head leader of, is it IUC or whatever? That's all he could show him. And then he went into the problems they have had and what the heathens done and the heathen done this and the heathen done this and the women done this and never owning that thing. Never going into Deuteronomy end game. That's as far as he went. That does not tell him why these men are committing suicide. I had not heard the great numbers of them committing suicide. I thought that the system is calling it a suicide, but I thought that it's the work of, I think the white supremacists and the KKK and the skinheads. I think they pulling up, but they pulling up in a different way and taking lives of our people. But they're not doing nothing to the people of the tribe of Judah that the Father is not allowing. And that's what we don't get. The Father is going to allow these things because we still in a mindset of rejecting the curse itself. So, okay, let me cut the fire up all the way on your butt and let you see. But what happened? It's only for he that he's speaking to that shall go mad for the sight of what you shall see. So this man couldn't even with is it IUC or what it said? They're the one with the purple. He couldn't even answer the man question. This man asked him, why are all our black men committing suicide? I had no idea our black men were committing suicide. He brought something new, but I was so anxious to hear what this head of this camp of ICU or IUC, I want to hear what he said. And he didn't have not an answer. And I said, how is you escaping the question? Why? He couldn't answer it. Because it'll make them look bad. It'll make it sound bad. It'll make it be bad. And that's why I say to you all, I had no idea that our black men are out there committing suicide. And that's why I asked y'all, had y'all heard of it? I had not heard of our black men committing suicide. You see? So I've heard a couple of so-called famous people committing suicide that was said, and I don't even think it was suicide. But I was wondering, because this is this man's show. He's on here every day with different people talking, and he had him on there. I just knew this man was going to pull up and give a good reason, because the answers are written, plainly seen. Because he already told us in Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. He could have answered the questions in Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Jeremiah. Anything that somebody asked him a question of, that's where it should be found. Why? If it's not found in Deuteronomy 28, run up into Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. You'll find it. Because it's telling you pretty much how everything's going to rumble through those prophets. You see? And even Yeshua pulled up and told us things that's going to come. But Deuteronomy nailed it. And nobody wants to enter into Deuteronomy. Nobody wants to go there to see, well, what do you mean? But he took out that they shall go mad for the sight of what they see. He didn't say that. He said, the man asked you, why are they committing suicide? So what I'm saying to everybody is this: you all don't understand how y'all going to let this roll out. He didn't turn the knob on high. And that's why you see so much going on. But even then, we still deny it. We still act as if it's not seen. So again, the person that came to me this morning with a comment, when I woke up, I saw their comment, and I think she has a really legit comment. I kind of really like it because I felt her. Her first 3 or 4 sentences, I felt that. I felt that thing because it matches the way I feel already. So I was like, wow, a person that can feel that thing. Because the moment she say, why is it our people, what did she say? Let me say what she said. And to me, I thought that was deep because she was coming from a place. She was coming from a place, y'all, within her. For why do we stay hidden? Who is she? Who is he? It could be a he. It could be a he or she. Why do we not speak up even when the Most High within us has given us all these gifts? I say the same thing, baby. I say the same thing. But if I said on here every time I come on and tell you all the gifts he gave me, first thing you all say, well, she just thinks she better than everybody else. She just said she got, baby, let me tell you something. Why do you think I say that? If only they knew, if those that are the true servants would get together and realize that they are in the body of Hamashiach, not in the body of control of somebody, but the body of Hamashiach, and they begin to share their gifts. Hey, let me tell you something. All those gifts might not be used on this earth, but I can bet you on that journey to the promised land, it's going to be used. Because my question still yet set before the throne. What's the deal with all this? What I'm going to do with it? What you want me to do with it? What you want me to do with it? What I'm going to do with it? You see? So I believe that the gifts has its purpose. You see, we can't see. And this individual that says this here kind of, and I'm going to be honest, it's kind of, I can feel them, but I kind of also feel scared because I'm like saying, ooh, it's another person that knows it too. Why do we stay hidden? That's a question. This individual put it as a question mark. Why do we not speak up even when the Most High within us? See, this individual talking about the Spirit, what did they say? Which within us have given us all these gifts. So I'm like saying, wait a minute, now, I'm feeling you now. Wait a minute, hold up. You know something about that too? See, that's the way my whole spirit acts with somebody else. It might seem simple to you all. It might seem, oh, that ain't nothing, but let me tell you something. It is something. This individual is saying something to me. Because why? I'm connecting with the spirit of this person. I never knew this person. I don't know who this person is, but I can connect with the spirit, especially when it says, why do we stay hidden? This individual ain't saying that they all out in the opening, because they say, why do we? You see, still looking for the answers to many untold questions, because there's so many on these platforms that's hooping and hollering, and there's no spirit and truth in them. So this individual is saying, why do we not speak up even when the Most High within us has given us all these gifts? It is because we are not so full of hatred that even when we know the spirit and truth, we stay quiet. This person ain't lying. This is spirit and truth, this individual speaking, telling the truth of the whole matter. Why are we hiding? And I have mentioned that over and over and over. And you know what? I come to conclusion to that. People don't want to be up under Hamashiach, which is Christ. They don't want to. They say it with their mouth. They want to be the head. They want to be able to rumble freely, do as they please, which they don't understand. The Father already didn't set you to liberty. You got that. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with being under the body, not being within the body. Instead, we within all these platforms on the devil's platforms, and we within that. And we're calling all of this mess that's on YouTube and Facebook and all these things, we're calling that the body. We the people. We the holy ones. We the this and we the that. And don't even understand how you calling all that out. Where's the head at? And I don't hear nobody talking about the head. Where's that power? Or do you know? Or do you know? No, you don't. Because as long as the power is given to someone in the flesh, they are very much content and they are not leaving off or anywhere. Now, say for instance, the Father collect his. There are going to be those who are going to remain here because they are not going to give up their headship or who they are. When I say here, they got it going on. And they think it's about what they're building up and what they're growing and what they got. They're going to remain here to where they ain't going to have the sense enough to know to leave it behind. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people who are preparing in that flesh way of being comfort, or they think they redeemed because they think they how would I say? I think they think they promised land is here in the United States because they want to build a standard that, hey, we got this, we got this, we got this. And the Father said, wait a minute, when it was about we. And everybody wants to make these platforms the church. Y'all don't do that. Don't make this platform the church. Don't make this platform the body. Because that's exactly what I try to explain to you all. They want to be the head. They want you to come onto their page and they be your pastor, your leader, your head. And don't think that it don't come with a price to the point where people begin to send their tithes and their offering to them. And this is what put them in a state of mind. We can sit here at home and be the church and lead all these people, and not none of these people have the gifts of the Most High Yah, nor are they anointed, nor appointed, nor are they led to teach spirit and truth with the light in their right hand. They just on here. And Satan has sold them in and out. Say, I'll give you a little check if you only limit what you say. What they did not understand, righteous cannot be chained up. So therefore, they got to speak unrighteous on the devil platform, because the devil saying, you speak anything righteous, you speak anything that's true, we're going to cut your tail off. And you know what they do? They walk on pins and needles, making sure they don't disappoint Satan, because they don't want to be banned off 1 week. It'll cut the pay. You see what I'm saying? That's why they say certain things and make you think it's all about being in control over those who rule this page. I mean, these platforms. No. It's about Satan that won your tail over and got you not saying and teaching and preaching spirit and truth with the light in your right hand. How about that? But I wanted to just, again, expound on that individual who sent that message, because I felt that person this morning. To get up in the morning and hear somebody talk like that, to me, I'm like, I can feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I know where you're coming from, and I know where you at. You see, that's a person that already know who they are. They already know who they are. And that's why they trying to figure out, well, why are they hiding? Why are we hiding? Even though they know who they are. They even know that God has given them gifts. They already know that. And they know they got more than one. Because he has. He's poured out many of gifts for the body of Hamashiach, which is the body of Christ. People will compress the spirit and the gift they're in to be followers of the clowns on these platforms and praising them and glorifying them and supporting them. And the Father say, this need be. It's a form of separating. Yesterday, the Father, I don't know. I believe I said Israel too many times is the reason why they kept cutting me off yesterday. I think that's what it was, because the last, I said it, I think 4 times before, and right before they cut me off was like the 4th time. And next thing I know, they cut you. They have, this is their, see, you all would never understand that they're not worried about those who've been following them all these years. They looking at those who've been following them and getting the check. Oh, they're going to do what I tell them to do. They ain't going to say nothing about nothing truth. They ain't going to say nothing about the spirit. They ain't going to say nothing about the most high. They most high God. They ain't going to say nothing. So, I ain't worried about them. Oh, I'm going to come on this lady. She ain't got no subscribers. She ain't got no likes. I mean, when I say no, little as possible. And I'm going to get on here and let me hear her say something. I'm going to shut her off. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they don't get bothered, because they ain't saying nothing. See, Satan said, why do I mess with those that are already mine? I want to tamper with the one that said something righteous, that's shedding the light, that's speaking spirit of truth. I need to cut her station down. I need to click her off. And see, that's what a lot of people never knew. That's how it's going to be done, because that's how the Father has allowed it to be. And it's going to be just that way. It's not so much as he that are speaking spirit and truth with the light. It's going to get away with anything. Satan is not letting you get away with anything, because he got the numbers. That's why the broad gate is many. It's because he got the numbers. He's the one racking up the numbers, you see. And these people thinking they racking up the numbers so they can get a check. No, baby, you selling into him, because they tells you what to say, how to say it. And you done been on here so long, you know what to say, how to say it, and the way to say it to keep spirit and truth from being revealed, even though many of them don't have spirit and truth. So that's what something the Father was telling me. He said, Deborah, a lot of them don't even have spirit and truth. They can't speak what they don't have. I know. He said they faking it, and they trying to portray, that they got it. They've been on here so long, so people just assume they do have it. The people are looking at their numbers. The people are looking at how many people following them, how many people in their lives. The people are looking at all of that and turning to them like a God. And this is why they don't understand that they ain't following you because you are speaking spirit and truth. They following you because Satan. That's it. That's the broad gate. The broad gate is going to be followed. So that's why very many there goes therein. Anybody have any questions? The 4 black shirt. My husband said he heard about it and noticed it online. Well, that's what this individual was telling me. Are you talking about the melanated? Because that's because you got a lot of stuff here, but you're not saying you're not saying what you're talking about. But yeah, that's what they and I think if our men don't understand that, that's mean it's telling me exactly what Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25 is saying. Because if they're bypassing all this stuff that's going on, if the tribe of Judah is bypassing all this stuff going on, I'm to the point where, okay, they're really not going to see any of it. No, they're not. They ain't gonna even see what come and what hit them. They ain't gonna even see it, because it's too much out here for them to see. I never knew that men were committing suicide. These were 2 black men speaking this here. And one has what? How many? He has what? 10,000? He got a place over in Africa. This IUC or whatever. The head, he was there. And when this man asked him this question, he must have heard about it as well. I don't know what's going wrong with that. Oh, so he heard about it. Well, see that's what I was saying. These black men were talking about it. And I hadn't even known that the suicide rate was up. That just shows you they keep anything that has to do with us out of the news, out of the media. But why isn't our people talking about it? You see what I'm saying? Why is it our people, as they call themselves awakening, speaks on it? Want me to tell you why? It's because they do not want to talk about anything that Satan don't want them talking about. They waiting to Satan put his album on so they can grab it and talk about it. See, they ain't gonna talk about things that they need to talk about. I had not heard of it, and you hear me? I heard it. Now I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it forward and say, have you all heard of it? Because I hadn't heard of that. But I can believe it. Why I can believe it is because, let me tell y'all something. There is things going on that is off the chain, which I mean off the norm. And people are passing it back like it's nothing. It's just like if you seen 15 2-year-olds laying in the streets, and their heads is chopped off and their legs are chopped off, laying in the streets, and everybody walking past it like it ain't nothing. That's how I see it as a prophetess in the wilderness. Not like that, but it's just as worse. You see, I'm seeing these things and I'm like, but Father, why ain't nobody doing that? Why ain't nobody talking about it? Why ain't nobody communicating? This need be, Deborah. They ain't talked about nothing I told them. So you think they're going to talk about what's going on? All this stuff is prophesied. And I just turned up the heat because so they can really see what's going on. Not see it, feel it. And the more they feel, less of what is prophesied, what is going on, the heat gets hotter and hotter until next thing you know, he gonna be then swooped, he is out and gone, and then it's there left for you. Okay, now I want to say this here. This is what he shared with me that blew me off yesterday, and I was like, Father, y'all, when with it in? When with it in? Because he was said, you know how I've told you time after time, if they miss Genesis, they missed the whole book. And he wanted me to go to Genesis again, Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. And in Genesis 1, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 5, he only wants me to say what it says right at the end. When the items, everything was complete, he says, the evening and the morning were the next day. Let me make sure that's Genesis 5 were the next day. Genesis 1 and verse 5. The evening and the morning was the next day. When I'm done with this, I want to see if you can tap in the spirit and truth of the whole matter of what actually is taking place in Genesis 1. So he gets to Genesis 1 and verse 8. The evening and the morning was the next day. Okay. You get to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 13, and it reads, and the evening and the morning were the third day. So we're going to say the third day. So in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 8, the evening and the morning was the second day. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 13, it says, the evening and the morning was the third day. Then it says in Genesis chapter 19, it says the evening and the morning was the fourth day. In Genesis chapter 23, it says the evening and the morning was the fifth day. And then he said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 31, the evening and the morning was the sixth day. And then he gets to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 2. And this is what it said. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 2. And on the seventh day, Yah ended his work, which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. Okay? He rests on the seventh day. What is strange about that? Anybody in the live chat? What is strange about Genesis chapter 1, verse 5? The evening and the morning. Genesis chapter 2, verse 8. Genesis chapter 1, verse 8. The evening and the morning was the second day. Genesis chapter 1, verse 13. The evening and the morning was the third day. Genesis chapter 1, verse 19. The evening and the morning was the fourth day. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. The evening and the morning was the fifth day. Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. The evening and the morning was the sixth day. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7. And on the seventh day, Yah rest. What is strange about that? Anybody in the lab? There's a spirit and truth of the whole matter in that. What's strange about that? Anybody? What's strange about what was taking place in calling each day from the first day, the evening and the morning, to the second one, the evening and the morning, to the third, the evening and the morning, to the fourth, the evening and the morning, to the fifth, the evening and the morning, to the sixth, the evening and the morning, to Genesis 2 and 2, he rests on the seventh day. What is strange about that? Exactly. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, you see what you just said. I'm going to read what you said. The evening and the morning is the next day. And that's not how it is with the world. This is what the Father was saying to me yesterday. He said, I want to show you. And that's why I tell you all can say what you want. You can think what you want. You can teach what you want. You can preach what you want. And you can believe whatever you want. Okay? That's in your flesh. It don't mean nothing. Until you understand in the spirit, you still dead in the flesh. Okay? And in the spirit. For the simple reason is this. I explained to you all, the Father is constantly revealing things and saying things to me. And I'm like, wait, man, I knew about the evening and the morning. I knew. He said, no, you don't. You don't get what I'm saying. And when he was saying to me last night when I got off of live and it kept going off, he said, Deborah, this is something I want you to look at. And you know what he told me? He said, how many times you see me wrote that? How many times? He wrote it. He said, how many times was it said? The evening and the morning. The evening and the morning. 6 times. And on the 7th, he rests. He said, what is it that they said they have awakened to? What is it that they don't understand? A day is made up based on evening and morning and not morning and evening. He said, but where you see how the order that I placed in Genesis 1, is it not taken out? Yes, it is. Why is it that we cannot see exactly what he means when he said, if you don't understand Genesis 1 and 2, you don't understand none of the book? Why? Why would he say that? Want me to tell you why he would say that? It's because he said, look at today. Look at what was said in Genesis chapter 1 in the beginning. In Genesis chapter 1 in the beginning. In Genesis chapter 1 in the beginning. Look at what they say today. Is that matching what I said? Or what was said that I said? Or the order in which I said? Was said that I said? Totally out of order. We look at the morning to be the day, the start of the day, and the evening to be the end of the day. And it's not, and we even gave it a night. Y'all never wanted us to take it like that. We were supposed to give the evening, it's 12 hours, and the morning is 12. They got morning, evening, and night. So tell me that the Father ain't saying what he's saying to the prophets when he said, if they missed the beginning, they'd have missed the whole book. Because that's just plainly seen. But it being missed. So it's not important that we speak on what we want to understand and we understand in our flesh. That's why I tell you, the flesh got its own separate wisdom. The flesh got its own separate knowledge. The flesh got its own separate understanding. It's got its own separate opinion. And when them feelings get caught up in that and them emotions get caught up in that, you can't tell these people nothing. They are born of the flesh. You can't tell them nothing. You see? Because they cannot see that everything has been flipped upside down. And if we, you know what? Let me explain something to y'all. This is what he's talking about. If we wanted to follow anything righteous, anything, we should have stuck with Genesis 1 and 2 and wrapped it up with Genesis 3. We should have followed them. Because during that time, y'all, when he was creating everything, Satan wasn't in the way. Sin wasn't present. So why did we take that which was perfect and lie about it all these thousands of years, even to today? That's scary, y'all. That is so scary. Because if this is plainly seen today, do you all understand nobody is really focusing on the fact of how far or how crooked we are? We are so crooked up from the floor when we can't seem to see the basic things has been messed up and lied on since the beginning. Not since the beginning of this, but since the beginning where man has had power over all things. Tell me that ain't crazy. Now, if he's sitting here telling us, Deborah, the evening and the morning makes up a day. I gave 12 hours to the evening and I gave 12 hours to the morning. How did that get flipped out to it being the morning, the evening, and the night? Nobody ever said anything about it either. Y'all notice that? No one would say anything. No one would discuss it. No one. That shows Sister Deborah that when he's saying to me, even if it's that one, because it's already messed up from the floor, get back in your lane. That's why. Because in your lane, I'm going to teach you spirit and truth. And even if you got to run that lane and you there by yourself, so what? You know I'm in front of you. And on every side. Stay in your lane. Because you got to stay in the lane of spirit and truth. Don't come up out of spirit and truth because these people following all these people and they saying this. No, you don't. You stay in the lane in which he has created for you. For it is spirit and it is truth. And that's the lane he have you running in while you still on this earth, speaking truth. You see? Spirit and truth at that, which is what the Ruach HaKodesh is giving me. So I'm like saying, so I said, wait a minute, hold up, Father. Genesis 1 and verse 5, the evening and the morning was the first day. Genesis 1 verse 8, and the morning and the evening was the second day. Genesis 1 verse 13, the morning and the evening was the third day. Genesis 1 verse 19, the morning and the evening was the fourth day. Genesis 1 verse 23, the morning and the evening, no, the evening and the morning was the fifth day. Genesis 1 and 31, I might have messed up on that one. Genesis 1 and 31, the evening and the morning is the sixth day. I think I might have said a couple of backwards, but I'm saying evening and the morning. He was saying to me, now how many times that's in there in one chapter? Y'all don't get what I'm talking about, do you? I'm going to tell you what he said to me yesterday. That's how messed up from the floor up the minds of flesh of men and women are. They are not going to tell the truth. The truth going to tell its own truth. That's why I tell y'all, righteous don't need you on its side. Righteous don't need you. Righteous stand alone. Always did and always will. You need it. It don't need you. You see? Because see, look how far gone we have lived. Look where we at today. And still living a lie. And yeah, we can blame any and everybody, but we still teaching the lie. We're not revealing these things in which the Father is bringing to knowledge in this day and time, which is spirit and truth. So the people can see how distant we have been. Oh, Father, I see why. See, it makes you understand the reason why he's done the things that he's done and doing the things that he's doing. It's because it's been bent from the beginning. Just like he got on me, he said, Deborah, when you heard me speak in the Gospel of John, verse 1 and 2. You know, that was years ago, but you know what he told me when he taught me that? He said, look how you tackled that. How did you know that there was fierce in that statement? I said, I could feel it. He said, you wouldn't get now one person living on this earth that could have felt the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and verse 2. You wouldn't have got it. I was making a statement. I wanted this statement to be recognized because I wanted them to understand the beginning was when it was in the beginning when he started creating it. He said, I was trying to get them to understand the power of the word. The word has all power in it. When it speaks, the power brings forth. And they missed it. Let me show you what I'm going to show you how he taught me. He said, one day he said, I want you to read the Gospel of John, chapter 1, and this was like a couple of years ago. He said, read chapter 1 of John. And when I got there, I was like, I'm going to tell you how silly I am. Yeah, I was in the wilderness when he was teaching me this, though. But I'm going to show you how silly I was. I was reading it, and I said, okay, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. I'm telling you what I was reading. And the Word was God. And the same was in the beginning with God. I said, wait a minute, there's a problem. That's my mentality. I told you I ain't got no sense. In my mind, I'm like, why are you repeating the same thing? What's going on here? See, it takes you to be in the spirit to be able to see that. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like wondering, why you keep saying that over and over and over and over? You're saying the same thing. What's going on? And with me being a silly person, don't have no sense, I'm asking the Father, why are you doing all that? Why is all that being said? Because in me, I will read it, but I just couldn't see it to be just, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the same was in the beginning. I couldn't just leave it there, y'all. I was feeling that thing. And while I was feeling it, I had to bring it to where I was feeling it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the same was in the beginning with God. You see, that's how I had to take it to understand that, hey man, I'm feeling this thing. That's that fierce. You're making a statement. Yes, he was. He's telling us in the beginning, in verse 1, in the beginning. When you drop down to verse 2, what does it say? In the beginning. And I'm like saying, why do you keep saying that? See, I'm just telling you, I ain't got no sense. Even when I'm in the wilderness being taught, why do you keep saying it? And why are you saying it that way? And why do you got God in there 3 times? And why do you got the word in there 3 times? What's going on with all that? What's going on? I was silly. The questions I bring before the Most High God are silly, but they powerful because it's dipping in to spirit and truth. The answer is even spirit and truth. And that's where he said, so y'all didn't get this, did you? Look at the Gospel of John, according to John, chapter 1. In the beginning, skip, go down to verse 2. In the beginning. Wait, what's going on? What's going on? What are you trying to say? Go back to the verse 1, the Gospel of John, chapter 1. In the beginning was the what? The Word. You see the word capitalized W. It's showing its power. It's not like the normal word, y'all. Lowercase W-O-R-D. It's trying to get us to see his power. And we missed it every time. Then he turned around and he said, and the Word was with God. There go the word. Capitalized. He's sending a power punch so you can understand what this word is. It carries power. Now listen what he said. And the Word was God. There go the word again. And in me, when I read it, I said, wait a minute, I can't read it just plain. It's something in there. You sound like you fierce. Until one day he told me, when you read John, I wanted when people read that to feel that thing. What was he trying to get us to feel? What was the Father trying to get us to feel? His power. Let's pull up now. He said what? In the beginning, in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, in the beginning, chapter 2, it says in the beginning. Let's pull up to the beginning. What was he saying? And you all, I'm going to tell y'all, it's sad, but it is what it is. There you go. In the beginning. You see that? So even though he was speaking it in John, it was fierce to bring you back to the beginning. And then when you saw him constantly repeating himself, I'm like, why are you doing that? What's the deal? It didn't make sense to me for it to be said 3 times to the word, 3 times God, which is Yah, and 2 times in the beginning. What are you saying? Go back, Deborah, to the beginning. So here I go back to Genesis, and what does it say in verse 1? In the beginning, Yah created the heavens and the earth. He wanted us to bring the power back to the beginning where it belonged. Did you know you all took the power away? Every last one of us as flesh, just as we took the evening in the morning makes up a day, and we made the morning, the evening, and the night to make up the day. That is not found under righteous. But look where we live today. And even wherever we were, we always followed the tradition of wherever we were at. And we still today say we awaken and have not found our way home. And home means to the bosom of the Most High Yah. Now listen to this. Now in John, he kept talking about the beginning. So when I was in John years ago, I'm trying to figure out, you sound like you furious. You sound like you upset or something. And it was because he wanted me to go back to what this beginning was. Because in that beginning was my word, Deborah. In that beginning was my power, Deborah. And they forsake the both. They forsake my word and they forsake my power. Listen to where it's at. In Genesis chapter 1, in the beginning, that's what he wanted me to come back to. Yah created the heavens and the earth. Watch this here, verse 2. And the earth was without form and void. The darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the water. Now here we go, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now, Genesis 1. In the beginning, drop down to 3. And Yah said, let. Said was his word he spoke. Let brought up the power. There it is. That's what the Gospel of John, verse 1 and verse 2 was saying. Take your tails back to the beginning and understand my power. Here we are thousands of years later and didn't even understand that the word he was speaking was in the beginning. The power was resting in the word. So he was connected to making sure you understand in the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and chapter 2, in the beginning was the word. And the word was with Yah. And the word is Yah. Verse 2. And in the beginning with Yah. He's wanting us to leave the Gospel of John, go back to the beginning, pick the power up, pick the word up in the beginning. Why? Because we lost it. Even to today. Y'all lost the power and the word at the same time. That's why people don't understand that when you on these devil platforms, somebody saying Yahoo, Yahoo, ED, whatever they are, that is not it. Because you don't understand that's not the word. You lost the power long time ago. You lost it. It was caught up in the word. And you didn't see it. You didn't know what it was. So when you pull up in Genesis, he's telling you exactly what was in the Gospel of John, chapter 1. You put up in Genesis in chapter 1, and what does he say? In the beginning. So you break it down to verse 3, and Yah said, the word was spoken. When Yah said, the word was spoken, let brought power. There it goes. The beginning is at the beginning. Verse 1, in the beginning. Verse 3 was the word. It was spoken. And let was the power. You drop down to verse 6. The word spoken and let was the power. Okay? Drop down to verse 9. The word spoken and let brought the power. Okay? Verse 11. The word spoken and let brought the power. We missed the power in the beginning. Hallelujah. Even to today, we said we awaken. You see what we are so far behind. We running around here thinking we are holier than thou. We got it from A to Z. We missed the power way back in the beginning. I know we did because I couldn't understand. Every time I got chastised, every time I got disciplined, when I got corrected by the Most High, he said, you come on back up in Genesis, the beginning. Always, never understood it at first. But after he explained to me, in the area I'm taking you, there was no sin. My power, my word was there. I was there as the Father of all creation. And they missed me. And the main place they missed was the place in which has started so much confusion amongst all denominations. When you hit Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26 and 27. Let us. What did he say in Genesis chapter 6? Genesis chapter 1 and verse 6. And Yah said, there go the word. Let us. He's telling the power we together about to bring forth man and woman. And how we going to do it? We're going to make it like us. Like we like it. Like our image. Like us. Us is him himself speaking to his power. He spoke to his power once before and called him my beloved, my only begotten, that came down with the Son of Man. See, we by us not knowing what Genesis going on in Genesis, we don't know nothing. No one would ever connect the Gospel of John, chapter 1 and 2, chapter 1, verse 1 and 2 with the beginning. He was trying to bring us back from the new all the way back to the beginning to the to what they call Torah and feel that thing. Feel what? That power. We left the power, y'all. We denied even to today. That's why they don't want to teach spirit and truth. They want to be able to teach it without the power. Because the power has not invested himself in them. So they teaches you all their own personal feelings, emotions, their own wisdom, their own knowledge, their own understanding. And Yah stand back and said, let them go. They always wanted an idol. Go for it. Get on YouTube and find all the idols you can find. Because I ain't giving you nothing. Okay? Anybody in the live chat, do you have any questions? They work hand in hand. They work hand in hand. And see, they forsaken it because, okay. Yeshua, when he went on that mountaintop, he said, man don't live on bread alone. He's right there letting you know, flesh, you don't live on bread alone, but every word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. That word carry power, y'all. And that power carry word. And we have forsaken it since the beginning. That's why we can't find our way. That's why we don't know our way. We don't know which way to turn, whether we should turn left or whether we should turn right. Should we go up or should we go down? Which way is the way? Try from this day on, seeing him to be all that and some, in a way that you didn't understand it at one time. Because if you did, you would have known that all the time we try to take him with just the Father creating something. No. That's why he was talking that in John. That was so fierce. And I was just asking him, I was a young person. Why you all like that? What are you trying to say in there? You don't sound right. You sound fierce. And I always thought that. Because when I read John, I said, no, this ain't nobody just saying something. This thing here, he's trying to send us back somewhere. And never knew what it was until he told me, go back. There it is in Genesis. They left my power, Deborah. And that's what they did. And I'm here to tell each and every last one of you, you nothing without my Father's power. You are nothing without his word and his power. Nothing. And we running around here thinking we got it from A to Z. All our T's and I's are dotted. We don't even know how and why all these people are leading you astray, all kind of ways. Every time somebody say something that feels good, think good, or look good, everybody go following it and putting it in place up in front of them. And it's okay. Because people still have. Wow. All this time, you mean I did not know my computer is not charging, but that's okay. I'm done anyway. The devil is a liar. And Sister Deborah, you know what? My computer been charging for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Set. And all of a sudden, it's telling me that's some strange stuff. And I sat at this table, seeing it charging full. But that's okay, y'all. It's all well. I think I did enough. I think I made a statement, and I hope that you all got something out of it, because it's something to think about. Stop dealing with my Father without his word and his power. This book is not the word. He is the word. When you get up under who he is, he'll lead you to his word and show you. See, this is what I see. Want me to tell you why? When you sit and you read Genesis and it's telling you, listen to this. When it's telling you that the evening and the morning makes a day, and what the world, and I ain't going to even sit and say the world, everybody, they live the opposite. They took the morning and made it the beginning of the day, when he had the morning to be as if it's the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? It makes up the next day. So how did we get that bent out of order to where we can't see his power and how he had it one way and we live it another? This is what everything we read in, y'all. And especially when you hear people teach it, that's why I don't listen to them. I don't listen to them because they ain't talking about nothing. So just look at that. Look at that Genesis 1 and see how, and he had split the evening for 12 days, in the morning for 12 hours, in the morning for 12 hours. They flipped that too. They flipped everything that was flipped one way, they flipped it another one. That's why I cannot even accept even Eve at the tree. Even Adam and Eve. Let me say this here before I get off. Now, this is what's really sickening to me. I can't explain it, and I will not. Oh, he's letting it charge back. All right, Father, y'all. All right. He's charging back. But this is what bothered me. I say, so they never going to get it right. He said, no, they're not going to get it right. I want you women to understand. If the men don't get it right, guess what? You won't get it right either. You got to be right within, because they're not going to get it right. And if they're not going to get it right, you got to be get it right within. No one knows that mystery of why these women going to say to this man, why is there going to be one man? Y'all don't get it, do you? You really don't get it. I know, because men have taught that thing out of order. That one man is going to be called holy. And after he have destroyed and allowed, he gonna allow your sons, your daughter, your sons, your husbands, your uncles, your grandfather, all of them to be died by the sword. Even your mighty men, those who won't get all their guns and say they tough and bad. But when the woman see a man still alive, it did it again, didn't it? When a woman see a man still alive, she's gonna call. I keep hitting that. She's gonna call him holy. Why? Because they want to be called holy. They're not saying, give me your name as a man, be your wife. You see, this is the sick, demonic spirits that's out here. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all one of the and I got this when I was washing dishes this evening. One of the most powerful demonic spirits that's sending many are men to hell is lust. And want me to share something with y'all? I heard something like this before, because I think I spoke on it, but I didn't hear it this way this evening. I was in it. He said that the melanated, as well as the tribe of Judah, is the only nation that focus on the rear end of a woman. And when a man focuses on the rear end of a woman, he's focused as the flesh, which is lust. You see? A rear end doesn't have nothing. Even what you bring in and out of the rear end has to come from here. You see? So if you're looking at it from the outside, or you looking at it in lust, and he said only the tribe of Judah has that mindset, that a woman is measured by her rear end. And he said that's a form of the level of lust they have in their heart. Because but what he was saying was, they are the only tribe that measure women based on their rear end. So women, that's not saying that they give and gave you, or as the world called love. That don't mean they have compassion and mercy and care for you. They're seeing you from your rear end, and that's what you've been showing off, your rear end, because you knew that that was the only attention that you can get in this day and time. Not only in this day and time, but it is the Father said it's not a good thing, because it is the level of their lust is so high. That's the only way they measure a woman. They're not going to measure her based on her spirit, or her give and gave, okay, or her look. They're going to only measure them from the rear end. From the rear end. And it's not going to be measured. If, many of them say, well, okay, I want a younger woman, okay? They want the younger woman, and let me show you how it was broke down to me. They want the younger woman because they want to go back into their young years. You know how people say, let me explain it to you. You know how people say, and I've talked to gay guys, they were molested when they was young, 3 and 4 and 5. And when they became a teenager and a young man, they still searched for that feeling they had when they were young. You see? Was that feeling something legit? Was it good? No, it was evil. It was to them a good, evil feeling that today they search for it. Okay? And even if they a lot of them, the ones that I spoke to, they talk about being molested by a male. So they seek it out of a male, to thinking that they're going to get what they've been looking for since they was raped at 3 or molested. So now it's coming up in their adult years, and now they have decided that, okay, this is what I want to do. This is the feeling I had back then, and I want to continue it because this is what I felt back then that I've been searching for. So yeah, I'm gay. You see what I'm saying? And this is what they decided. And the women, they tell me, especially when I was in Georgia, I interviewed a lot of women, melanated women that were gay. They said that they were molested, they were raped from their household. It's always from the household. The father's friend, the father's brother, the fathers, the grandfathers, the brothers, always. So it became a lifestyle for them to be invaded during the time they were young by men till they grew a hate for men. You see? So this is what makes them turn to women. You see how that's all a mental, but it's reality. The men searching for whoever touched them when they was a baby, they still searching for it today. So he's saying a man, when he's looking at a woman from the rear end, he's looking at her as lust, as pleasure, as a desire, and it brings and it entertains his inner man. So a lot of them, he say, don't even understand. It's not coming just from a standpoint of your flesh. It's coming to your spirit, man. Because you're ushering in the word, which is an action of you lust, and that's a no in the eyes of Yah. That's why he said, it never dawned on Yah why it says, if you are to look, because he knows that somewhere along the line, just looking brings on the lust in your heart. So he put even a stop there to let you know. Do you think they care? No, they don't. Because it's all about, and the reason why I'm saying that, it's a man that come in my store. He been coming for 3 years. And he only comes when times get hard to talk to me about matters. Well, Sister Deborah going to have to judge him in a way that he's not going to be ready for, because him and I are friends. And he's older than I am. He's probably 68, somewhere in there. And he always come when he want advice. I'm going to have to share with him what the Father had shared with me. And the reason why I say that is, this man, we talk about the Most High all the time. He's a Christian. I'm constantly telling him. He knows some about who we are. And I've always told him all the time he come, about the Israelites and we being the people. But in the last 6 or 7 months, he would come back and talk about, he asked me a couple of months, do you think that the young women would get themselves together? Bro, what do you want? In a sense, I'm like, what do you mean get themselves together? I said, do you know, according for a woman to get together, the men has to get themselves together first and foremost, because the men then lost their position. And a lot of y'all don't even know that. A lot of women are so stuck on stupid, I mean spiritual stupid, that they don't know truth. They don't know righteous. A woman comes out of a man. That's where the light of who they see was placed in them. She comes from the men. So, according for the woman to get right, the man has to get right first. They don't understand that. It was a reason why you were created first, because she was in you. But you were created first. There's a reason to that. That's okay. It says, I'm going to show you something. It says, plain as it said, evening and the morning. Said 6 times, and also spoke on the 7th day. Rest. Just as plain as it shows you, it is as plain as day, showing you man was created first, but woman was found in him. You see? Every female comes out of a man. So the man would have to get it right. They're not going to get right. I'm going to go and tell you that. But when women trying to be right or be upright and just and submissive and all this to a man that ain't trying to serve the Most High in any righteous, or not trying to recognize he got a spirit, and that spirit has to be willing to want to desire to be right, to even the desire. Y'all will meet him all the way, but they don't have that mindset. You see? So when I was in the water washing dishes, he was telling me, he said, Deborah, a woman's rear end is the heaviest lust of the heart of the tribe of Judah. Because they think that rear end is like they like the idea of the fantasy and the lust. And he said, honestly, there's nothing in it, but they don't know that. It's all up here. See, and that's the weakness of them. They want what they want. They see what they want. They just desire, and they have that lust for what they want and what they think is something. Why would Yah want you to take something that he created for someone to bring waste out of, or to have on their bottom end? It wasn't created. So now you get people now doing, how would I say it, oral anus sex and catching all kind of bile and sick. See, this is how deep it is. They thinking they really getting something out of it. The Father said, no, they're not getting anything out of it. It's like they milking it and thinking they're going to get a glass of milk. You see? Because the larger and the bigger, not understanding, not caring. It's just they want to go out with it so it can be for show. So you get these women going all over the world trying to get theirs to be as big as possible so they can be on some man's arm, so that their rear end can be the trophy of the party. And many women are dying, even as we speak, trying to bring that rear end up in a way. And see, the thing about it, they're not trying to bring nothing up in exercising. They're trying to get it to where it can be so noticeable when they feel if I can get this up, I have all the men looking. That's a form of enticing when you already know their lust is at its highest when it comes down to a rear end. And if you ask a man, really, what will you get out of it? The first and foremost thing is the lust. That's it. Their inner man is lusting after somebody's rear end. Okay? And the bigger it is, the more they lust. Even if they don't get it, their whole goal is money could buy it. I want it. And a lot of them would even let their wives go get their rear end. Guess what that's about? A trophy that they can take out, and all the men desire to want it. So they don't understand they're asking for addictions. They're calling addictions to come forth. Come forth so you can look at what my trophy that I have. And they be drooling, and then this is what they expect from all women. We are the only nation that does that, the Father says. And that's sad. But it's real. I hear men today saying if she ain't got no meat on her body or she ain't got a big butt. And I'm like, bro, that's a form of wickedness. They don't care. They don't care. Even those who say they're righteous, they don't care. They just want what they want. You see? They don't even understand that you can get that right now. What it's going to be like 10, 15 years from now. Because that thing up got to come down. But see, people don't look at it like that. They figure when I'm a rolling stone, I go here, I go there. I keep going to where it's lifted. And that's what they do. You see? All chasing lust. And that's a sad thing. It's a really sad thing. A really sad thing. But the Father said it is what it is. That's why he turned up the fire. That's another reason why he turned up the fire. Because he said the tribe of Judah really think this is about a game. They think they in so much power. And he said the stupidity of being awakened is strictly stupidity. Wicked and evil at its highest. He said he didn't turn principality in high places. He didn't brought it to the earth. He didn't told them in Revelation chapter 18 and verse 2, you are in a state now where the devil is now where you at a high number. Foul birds, hatred birds, cages of unclean spirits. And we running around here trying to fulfill the lust of a man. And he trying to get his feel on. So this man that comes in, I decided if he comes back, when he comes, which he said he's going to come back this coming weekend, I'm going to have to lay it on him. That man, you say you're a man of God, but you got one of the highest level of lust spirit that will not be tolerated in the kingdom. Because we're really thinking we can do with anything we don't want down here. We can fulfill all our lust, all our wicked, all our evil, all our doing, all our lying. And these men think they can hang on to that highest level of hate, blaming woman for everything and not going back to Genesis and realize who she is who you are. They don't even get that. And they won't, because they take on the Roman Catholic switchovers of the Roman Catholic. Let me tell y'all where I'm going with this. I've heard in the last week 3 men talk about Eve. They talk about Eve having sex with the serpent. I want you all to understand how Genesis 3, and when the father was seeking Adam, and Adam was hiding. Instead of Adam responding to the Most High Yah at the moment he was seeking him, but eventually he did. But what was it? Anybody in the live chat, this is your shot. Was the first thing Adam owned up to? The first and only thing. Anybody in the live chat? What was it that Adam owned when he was disobedient to the only commandment and the only law that the Father gave him? The only instructions and direction he gave Adam. When the Father come looking for him, nope, that wasn't it. He blamed Eve. We that's the second. That's the. I say that's the third one. But what was the first thing? And I had to. Only reason why I knew y'all, because these women were coming into my store and they wanted me to talk about marriage and couples, and the men too. They also would come and tell me what's going on with their wife and what's going on with their girlfriend. They just like to talk because like I told you, I don't got no sense. So when I talk, and what I mean is I don't hold back nothing. So and I shoot into a woman as quick as I will a man. I'm just strictly about spirit and truth. Shame, nope. What was it that he owned? I'm gonna have to pull it up. Nope. He never realized he sinned. There was no repentance. See, you have to have some sort of guilt to know that you sinned. But Adam never did own that thing. He walked straight up, not knowing it. There you go. Naked. There you go. Now you got it right. He owned that he was naked. Perfect. I like how you put it too. He owned that thing, didn't he? That's the only thing you heard come out of his mouth when he recognized his body. Same thing today. It wasn't that he recognized Eve. He recognized his own body, that he was naked. He recognized her as true, but that's the only thing he owned up to. He didn't own up to his sin. He didn't own up to his disobedience. He didn't own up to what he did wrong. He didn't say, I'm sorry, I repent. Nothing. Then he flipped it over to the father. That woman you gave me. Then he flipped it over to Eve. Never walking out of that garden owning nothing. Never did. Never did. And that's where we at today. See, a lot of y'all want to skip everything and just jump to this day and time and think, oh, it was like this. It's like this. This is where you know a lot of them are lying to people. It's a lot of them lying to each other. And I'm going to tell y'all why I'm bringing this up. Because I'm going to shoot into y'all what I'm hearing, okay? And you all going to be wondering, well, wow, I never thought of it like that. But I'm going to shoot it to you. So what he's saying is he was able to own that. And then he asked him, who told you? Wait a minute. He's asked him something, and he said, who told you that thou was naked? You see? Who told you that? Said the Most High, y'all. You see, y'all? In a sense, you ain't own nothing, but you own that you're naked. Who did that? What's going on? You see what I'm saying? That's the same thing I'm saying about a female's body. They own that butt. And they proudly state that that's what they look for, that's what they desire, that's what they want, as if there's really something in a small butt versus a big one. It's really nothing in there, but what's in your mind. This brings you what you want, not what you see and lust after. You see, this brings it. Because no matter what you see, this has to put it in its right, not like righteous, but in the order. So it has to come from here. Because it's no different than somebody that's a size 5 versus someone that's a 22 or 14. You see what I'm saying? It's all in the mindset. Now, this is what I'm thinking. I would think that one would want somebody to be there for them, to care for them, to listen to them, to let them be the head and be there to support him. Things like that. But not Negroes, not the tribe of Judah. All they want is a tail so they can have a trophy. Now, this is what happened. These Negro men in the tribe of Judah is talking about Eve had sex with the serpent. I'm going to clear that bull crap up right here and now. And I'm going to mention it again, maybe even this week. Eve did not have sex with the serpent. We just want to lie. But you know what? These young men, they feeding on that and believing it too. It had nothing to do with it. When the Roman Catholic went into the word, I, as a Sister Deborah, really feel this in my spirit, that they switched that thing around and made it as if Eve was talking and not Adam. I believe it was Adam all the time. He was still in leadership. How did Adam step down so far off the order that was given to him in the garden and woman standing up there? It don't make sense. Now, if the Roman Catholic put it in there, they're about favoring boys and men. They would drop the crime off of them and put it on woman. Let me tell you why. Because when Eve pulled up and started talking, nothing Eve said made sense. Y'all didn't know it. Now one of y'all knew it. Because he never told them not to touch. If I touch something, don't mean it's in me. You see what I'm saying? He said don't eat. And we know that it's not real fruit and it's eaten. It means taking it in, entertaining it. So to touch something don't mean you entertain it. And to desire something don't mean you having sex. But when you deal with Negro men, their hearts are so loaded with lust. Everything come to them have to be around lust and sex, to where they rather go into the Genesis and flip the script and make it the way the Roman Catholic has set it up from the floor up. So, well, what you mean, Deborah? Because you know I have taught this many a time. Eve said things that the Father didn't say to Adam in the garden. So that right there lets me know somebody didn't put something in. Somebody didn't add it and somebody didn't took away. Because if y'all didn't say that to Adam, why is Eve saying it? How about that? How about that? It didn't make any sense. So what they're saying, her desires, a desire mean sex. That's the mindset of the men. They don't understand desire don't mean sex. So they just decided because they said she desired him and how she saw him. Let me use the words that's in here that made them flip that. Now here it is, verse 6. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 6. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food. So the woman saw the tree that it was good for entertainment. So what I'm going to show you why they messed it up. I'm going to say this and make this very powerful statement. They messed it up. So the Roman Catholic messed this Genesis 3 up so bad. Guess what? Guess what? The Ruach pulled this sister right up and parked her right in it. And I can see them. I can see what they done. Because listen to here. In Genesis chapter 3 and verse 6, the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes. Pleasant to the eyes. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. How did she start sinning before she ate them? It don't make sense. See, y'all don't get it, do you? How did it become pleasuring before you even took it? How could that be? Well, I can see you seeing it because it says in Genesis chapter 2, he said that and Yah grew every tree that is well, here it is right here. Yah grew every tree that is pleasant to the sight. Every tree was pleasant. See how they messed that up, y'all? No, y'all don't get it, do you? See, y'all missed it. You see? It went over y'all head. Y'all can't even see it, can you? See, that's why I tell y'all, you be careful coming to this page. Because this page is for those who have spirit and truth resting therein. And they're carrying the light in their right hand. Because you see, this very same thing that the Father said. Listen to what he said. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 9. And out of the ground made Yah to grow every tree that was pleasant to the sight and good for food. Now let's go over here to Genesis chapter 3. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant for the eyes. And what happened? Go back. And grew every tree that was pleasant for the eyes. This is Genesis 2 and verse 8. And good for food. And the tree of life also in the midst of the garden. And the tree of knowledge of good and evil. All the trees were pleasant to the sight. And good, what? For food. To entertain. Now watch this here. And the tree, and a tree to be desired. And to make wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat. And gave also to her husband with her. Now, husband is with her, but let's go back to the tree. Let's go back to the pleasant to her eyes. Well, what they're saying is she lusted after the serpent. You see what I'm saying? Now, I know they've been saying it for about 1.5 years, the Hebrew Israelites. But you see how sick? No, they've been saying it longer than that. Let me go and put that back 3 years. That this is when she started having sex with the serpent. She was lusting after the serpent. But was y'all lusting after the serpent when he said it was pleasant to the eyes and good for food? Was y'all lusting after it? He said, and he put the tree also of life in the midst, and the tree of in the midst of the garden of knowledge and good and evil. But there were other trees, and he said they were pleasant and good for food and pleasant to the eyes. to look at. Outside of the tree of life and the tree of good and evil, he still had other trees that was pleasant to the eye. So why is it our Hebrew Israelite men are teaching these men that Eve was having sex with the serpent? She was lusting and desiring to have sex with him. Because this is what this is meaning. Do y'all know that's what they said? They said it longer than they've been saying it probably since I've been on here 5 years. They've been saying it probably almost 4 years since I've been on here. I've been hearing it. And they still said, I heard 2 young men speaking it today. I said, that's saying. And they said, and the tree in verse Genesis 3 and 2, I mean, Genesis 3 and verse 6, and the tree to desire to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and eat and gave unto her husband with her. Now, you see how dumb the Roman captives were? You see how dumb they were? The head was right there with her. You see? You flip the script. Let him be present during the whole time while she was there. So there he is right there with her, but she was the only one that took it. Come on now, y'all. That don't even make any sense. But was she created when the order was given to him? No. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. They went in and they did so much wrong to it. That's why a lot of people lost. But then the Father backed that thing up. I love it the way he moved. He backed that thing up and he backed that thing down. That's what I'm telling y'all. Don't know who you dealing with. Father come in and he pull up. Come on, bring him there, Deborah. Here go Genesis 3 and 15. He's telling the serpent, okay, you was a beast. I'm putting you on your belly from now on. And Satan, I know you used to, but let me tell you one thing. Genesis 3 and 15, and I will put intimacy. That means a hate between you and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise your head, and thou shall bruise her heel. He's letting Satan know, look, Eve and Adam was your seed. I placed them seeds down here. I the one put the tree of knowledge and good right there for them, for you. So throughout life, you're going to have your seeds in the spirit realm come down in flesh body, and I'm going to have my seed in spirit realm come down in my seed. You see? We're coming in flesh, y'all. So the Father wanted me today to tell y'all, stop believing those lies about fallen angels. He ain't gave them that much power. There ain't no fallen angels falling nowhere. He ruled his time. Everybody's coming through the birth canal. Everybody. That's why he says, he that is born of the flesh is of the flesh. He that is born of the spirit is of the spirit. You got to be born from the birth canal. You're either going to be about the serpent seed or you're going to be about the spiritual seed. So y'all just been lied to all the time. Just as the whole world for 4,000-5,000 years has lied about, and still today. The evening and the morning makes a day. Not the morning, the evening, and the night. That was way back in Genesis, just like I'm talking about Adam and Eve. So then they tells about Eve having sex with the serpent because she was desiring the tree. That's what they say. Pleasure. And they fail to realize what hold up. Was Yah desiring the pleasure and wanting to have sex with the serpent too? He the one called it out in Genesis 2. So you're going to say Eve is the one that's having sex. They said when she was up there having sex. So what was Adam doing? Looking? He was with her. So what's going on? Can somebody tell me in the live chat what's going on here? Sister Deborah lost without a cause. That don't even make no sense. So then they say, when you get to Genesis chapter 4, Adam knew Eve. Wait a minute. Hold up now. Wait a minute. You mean they had sex? Wait a minute. Did they have sex? Wait a minute. Did they have sex? No. She didn't have sex with Adam. She had sex with the devil. Y'all get up here. Next time you hear some of them brothers, listen to what they tell you. Eve, that's just how bad they have orchestrated a woman out of the order of the Father. Well, why you say that, Deborah? Because when you go back to the beginning, the Father say, just as they turned the evening and the morning being a day, the evening and the morning runs into the next day. Not the morning and the evening and the night. Like unto Genesis 1. The Father said, in his perfect will, he said. So, Genesis 1 and verse 26. Genesis 1 and verse 26. So, Yah created man in his own image, which is a spirit. And in the image of Yah created he him. Male and female, he created them. Yah say right there, I told them that they had dominion. How do men have dominion? Who told them they had the dominion? Because I said that they had the head to make the final choice. But it didn't take her out of the order in which I created her in Genesis 1. Before sin even exists, I put her in the perfect will of mine, and they took her out. What do you mean, Father? Let's go there. Genesis 1 and verse 27. So Yah created man in his own image, and in the image of Yah created he him, male and female, created them. Okay, now watch this here. Verse 26. And Yah blessed them. Okay, and Yah said unto them, what are you talking about? Why do you keep saying them? If you knew you already orchestrated to only be him. That's another order they took out. They took his order out. They took his order out. And when they take his order out, guess what? You got to understand who took them out. Men, the Roman Catholics. They started these things. Now, this is the part bothers me. Is how you have awakened to what? Stupidity. Because you still haven't woke up to spirit and truth. Righteous. The righteous order of the Father. You woke up to stupidity. You still routing the Roman Catholics order. You don't even have the Holy Spirit so it can rightly divide the word of truth outside of the word that the Roman Catholic smeared in. Now watch this. He says in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 28, and Yah blessed them. There go the two, them. And Yah said to who? Them. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish your house, replenish your land, replenish the earth, subdue it. That's a lot of power, y'all. The Father let man know that he charged man and woman, them, with this type of power. With this type of power. Roman Catholic wanted to be where they at today. And they are Satan's right hand. They are Satan's right hand. Remember how it's talking about the beast in Revelation? It's going to turn Satan going to turn his power over to the beast. That's what I'm trying. Y'all don't get it, do you? See, y'all thinking that the Father, y'all got a power. But the Father gave the serpent his little power. He got it in his right hand. And he got his own people. That's the Roman Catholics. That's still Europeans. Still Europeans. That's it. That's his people. Okay? So watch this here. In verse 28. And he said, and Yah blessed them. And Yah said to them, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over every living thing that move upon the earth. Woman, he even told you can hunt. He said, rule that thing. Fish, woman, rule that thing. See, he always said, well, not rule, but he said you have dominion over them. See, don't let nobody tell you you can't go fishing. You can't go hunting. See, he's telling you have dominion because he placed it there. But what we do? Hell with him. We ain't doing his perfect will. There wasn't no sin back there. So we don't have to follow that. He didn't have no sin when he was speaking that. But that's where you're supposed to be at, y'all. Where it wasn't no sin. You're supposed to pick up that first. Every scripture before the sin took its course, you're supposed to pick it up, eat it, digest it, make sure it's within you, because guess what? I get my butt whooped by him every time. And where he bring me? Right back to Genesis 1 and 2. Every time. Because there's always something there that will put me in order. And I was like, well, Father, they don't know about that. He said, you know it. You know it. And that's what's important. Now watch this here. Watch how he says this here. And have dominion over the fish of the sea. Are he talking to Adam? Or he talking to Eve? He talking to both of them. And over the fowls of the air. Oh, women, you can hunt ducks and turkeys. Oh. And over every living thing that moves upon the earth. So why is it that woman has been degraded under the feet of man as to only be worth what she can be on her back? Talking about cleaning the house and taking care of the children. A woman don't need a man to tell her that order. By nature did Father give her that. How about that? You see how stupidity can come in and try to rule the order of the Father, and they are all out of order? Because by nature, the things that man can do, by nature of the way he created man, the things that woman can do, by nature, she do on her own. We as women and women as, men as men, we don't need a woman to tell us how to be a man, because we were created to be a man. Likewise, but you don't see that. That's where it's not even. That's why I'm telling y'all, they jumped out of them and made it about him. Because if you bring it to even, you can see the men said, okay, woman, be the best that you have been created to be. I'm going to be the best that I have been created to be. But it looks like somebody has the last say so. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Man can have the last say so. I'm with you with that. I don't have no problem with that. I think that's beautiful. That's what you call proper order from the Most High God. It's when you're able to get in here and see righteous for what it is. And you can see spirit and truth of the whole matter. But when you look in here and you make this a lie, and then they want to live they lie. They want to turn a lie into to truth. And that's what he said was going to be in the end days. They're going to make one thing a lie, they're going to make righteous a lie and wrong the truth. And 100% a living prophet to see that. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to notice is in verse 29, I want you to watch this here. In verse 29, Yah said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree, and which is the fruit of the tree yielding seeds. To you it shall be meat. Verse 30, and to every beast of the earth, to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. Now you see that? Now, this is where the problem is at, y'all. This is where you're going to hear the problem. This is where a problem is at. And that's why I say y'all better be careful. Be careful in the way you are misled by people, okay? When you go to Genesis 31, listen to what he said. After he gave this order to them, not to him, but to them, he said, and Yah saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. It was very good. You see that very good? Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you what's deep. Everything, you can go to every verse in the Bible in Genesis 1, and you will not see. Let me see if I can see at least one or two of them. No, okay, so it is true. It's true, y'all. It's true. Go back to Genesis 1 and 31. When he was speaking into my spirit, I was like, oh, but no, it's in there again. He said, no, it ain't. Look and see. And it says it. And Yah saw, that's letting you know, with his own, everything that he had made. So it seems it's like he really appreciated himself and what he had created. Now watch this here. And behold, there go again, and looked, and it was very good. Very good. Do you see that word, very good? Go back up in Genesis and see if you see everything he created, if he said it was very good. So if it was so very good, who came up in there and moved everything out the way? Who changed the order from them to him? But the Father said it was very good. Go back to Genesis when he built the heavens and the earth, and he built the firmament. He built the created all things. But when he created it and finished it, after he gave woman and man to them, he said it was very good. Just think of a Father in heaven said it was very good. You know what he's talking about? Perfect, Deborah. It was my perfect will. So how did his perfect will come out from under male and female, them, to him? See, y'all never understand that. Because, only way you can find that is in spirit and truth. That's what you call righteous. Righteous teaching, righteous preaching. You know how people tell you Torah, Torah, Torah? They don't know a rat's behind about Torah. Because if they knew about Torah, they'll know what I'm talking about. And they would have been teaching it. And I'm going to sum this up with what a lot of them hang on to. They're saying Adam here in Genesis 4, Adam knew Eve, his wife. Do you know they won't settle for that? They won't settle for that. They say Adam didn't have Eve. Eve had the serpent baby. She had sex with the serpent. You see the mindset? That's how bad it is today. That's why they've been out of control, messing with their babies, their sons and their daughters in the household, and wonder why they left their homes. That's why when you hear an elderly person talking about their parents, the first thing they said, my daddy was a Rolling Stone. See, a lot of things have taken place and everybody think they have swept it under the rugs, and it's been thousands of years and it's been going on. Look how Sister Deborah just broke down to you how far the Father say we are out of the order in which he made perfect. He made perfect there to be an evening and a morning, and they switched that. He made perfect that it'll be about them and not him, and they switched that. And do you know our men don't see nothing wrong with that? They don't see nothing wrong. They can't see the Roman Catholic set up from the floor. When Eve turned around and said, he told us, he said that we are not to touch. He ain't said nothing to you, Eve. What are you talking about? So how are you lying? You see, how are you lying? You see, it don't make sense. And it said that the trees that were made was made, and he said it was planted. Let me show you something. The pleasure of that, that's still rocking me, and I think that's the Father doing that. That's still rocking me right here. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 9. And out of the ground made Yah to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life, which was good and pleasant, and the tree of good and evil, it also was good, pleasant for the sight, and good for food, meaning to intake, not eating food, y'all. This is not what he's talking about. But the key to it is Eve come along, and it says, and when woman saw that the tree was good for food, which was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, They said she was lusting after Satan. Okay. And a tree to desire. They said that was her sexual desire. To make one wise, she took the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband, which was with her husband with her, and he did eat. So did he eat Satan sexual desire too? Why is we saying woman having sex, but Adam ain't? He did the same thing she did. All right, Sister Deborah, hope you got something out of it. And if you didn't, go back over it and see what you can find. But I, Sister Deborah, say I will be back, and I hope you did get something out of it. At least you learned something that you didn't know. So I, again, Sister Deborah, will be back. I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. Thank you. Shalom.